and her committee is Leslie Burns and Al Horn. So it's Tamsa, Leslie, and Al for safety. Parks is Ken Demeter is chairperson. Barb and Tamsa are on the Parks Committee with Ken. Building and Utilities, Barb is the chairperson. Her committee members are Al Horning and Debbie Rustick. Streets, chairperson is Al Horning, and the committee members are Ken Denver and Barb. Zoning, Leslie is the chairperson, and all council people are on the I was gonna say Leslie committee, the zoning committee. Community Relations is Deb Rustick is the chairperson with Tamasa and Ken. I'm sorry, that's Community Relations and Kids Programs. So it's Deb Rustick, Tamasa, and Ken. Our finance person is Gary. Last year we had financial planning committee. That will be determined this year if we needed it. That was just needed when there was a few things that came up. So if that comes again, we can basically have people, or all council people can actually take part in that if they'd like. So that is the committees. Any questions? Okay. The next thing is the council president. So nominations are now open for council president.
I'll nominate Tamasa.
Is there any other nominations? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you for volunteering, Tamasa.
You're welcome.
Lucky Tamsin. Okay, now we'll do roll call, Gary.
Okay. Alan?
Present.
Barb?
Here.
Debbie?
Here.
Tamitha?
Here.
Leslie?
Here.
Ken?
Present.
Alan Michelson? Jim?
Here.
Thank you.
You've had time to read the minutes. If there's no questions or corrections on the minutes, you need a motion to accept them.
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm sorry, who did the second?
I did.
Thank you.
Leslie.
And we have the bills. Are there any more bills?
No changes to the bill.
If there's no questions or concerns about the bills, we need a motion to pay them.
I make a motion to pay.
Approve the bills as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay, now before we start, I want to thank the people that were active in putting up the Christmas lights on the lakefront, which I know for sure were the Williams, the Hornings, Safcos, and was Joe Bill helping with this?
Joe Bohack, and then Tim Sakula.
Okay. They did all the lights on the lakefront and on the beach area, and it looked great. So thank you guys for that.
We
And then-
had John Sandor help take them down too.
Oh, okay. And then we have the children's Christmas party. I was not able to personally attend that because we were doing Lions business that morning, but the pictures look great. It looks like the kids had a ball. Looks like all the stuff you guys made was good, and I don't know where you got some of those people. You had $1 million Santa outfit on that guy.
That was Santa.
And then there was some suspicious looking larger elf person
Oh, yeah.
drew attention.
I wouldn't trust that one. I wouldn't trust him at all.
That was a good job you guys all did, so thank you for that. Okay, so now we will go on to the safety committee, which is Tamasa.
I don't even know where to start. Oh, my goodness. I do actually. Yeah, I have no idea where to start.
Well, you have somebody here that could give you some advice, I know.
I know. You just handed me a stack of papers, but we usually start with the fire department. Isn't that accurate? And I didn't print, huh? That's a great place. I did not print out that information, but I want to share that information on the screen. When I went to print it at home, there was a lot of color and it looked like a gray blob. So. Airplay. Are you guys okay with me doing this instead of printing it out every month? This is everything that would be on the papers from the fire department. Does that work for you guys?
That's
Good idea.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, because we always get a copy of it at the meeting, and then we get another copy of it with our minutes, so this would eliminate.
I will need a copy for the minutes.
I can send that to you. If it's an email's okay, I can
Oh,
send you
sure.
the email that I had received it
Yeah.
with.
That's fine.
Because we'll receive an email every month, just like that, right? Because that's the first time I've been a part of that email. So I guess if you want to do what you do, thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I can actually scroll through some pictures to make things larger if you guys want. I kind of made a slide. Well, that's where he'd be starting at.
Yep, there was 57 calls in the month of December. One in the city of Medina, 45 in Lafayette Township, 8 in Chippewa, 2 in Glory Glen, and 1 in York Township. 38 were during the day and 19 at night. And it was we had about a minute and 53 out the door time, and about 68% were EMS calls, and the rest were fire and other types of alarms. And then a minute and 59 is our year-to-date turnout time, and 5 minutes and 21 seconds to get on scene anywhere in the township. We gave mutual aid to City of Medina once, Earhart once, and we received mutual aid 4 times. And some of the things we've been doing, our department assisted with Shop with the Cop on December 6th. It was a great day with the members of our community and the fellow first responders. The Firefighter Association delivered gifts with Santa on the 21st, another wonderful event for our community. We submitted revisions for the BWC Firefighter Exposure to Elements grant. It's a great grant, and it's for $3,383 for turnout gear. Our annual bench testing was done. Air packs, bottles, and masks were all completed. That's a yearly test we have to do with our air packs that we wear in fires. Our tanker was in service. It's completed now. It's back in service. It's all repaired. And I gave an updated list of equipment that we're going to get rid of. The total for the year, we had 805 calls for 2025, and 99 were in Chippewa. So, any questions?
How many visits did Santa make?
Oh, I don't know, probably a couple hundred, I think. But yeah, I mean, we did a morning session for about 100 plus, and then an evening session about 100 plus.
Did you go into Glory Glens?
Yes, yes,
That's
ma'am. Yeah,
nice.
it's awesome. It was a great time. So, a long day, but it's fun.
I attended the swearing in of the new Seville fire chief, and something that I wanted to point out was, I think almost every county fire chief was at this swearing in, and they don't have to be there. They're there in their full dress uniforms. It was very impressive. It was like old school cake and punch in a jug, and it was like, and it wasn't just them, it was families were there, like spouses and kids, and like even tonight, they don't have to come to this. They could send their report and sit at home and, watch movies, but.
Who's the new fire chief?
It's Keith Geiger, my daughter's father-in-law, Brody's dad, is the new fire chief in Seville.
Oh,
So, it was kind of cool.
Yeah. Seems like a wonderful guy. We're gonna be along great. And I haven't talked about the polar plunge yet with him, but he's gonna have fun.
I think that would be a really good initiation.
Yeah, pretty much. That's where I'm leading. Put
him in the dive suit.
Did you you have a question?
I did, years ago, the fire department would check our fire extinguishers with us, for us. They don't do, last year I was told they didn't, I didn't know if that was a service you guys provided.
We don't provide the service, but we can check them and make sure they're serviceable or they're able to be used, yes.
But you don't put the new tag on?
No, that's a company typically does it, yeah,
Okay, because
Yeah.
the fire department years ago used to do it,
yeah.
so, okay, I'll.
There may have been a guy on the department that had a company maybe, that would be the only thing.
Okay,
Because, yeah, outside company has to, inspect it and test it, like the hydro testing for the air bottle we talked about tonight. It's the same kind of thing with fire extinguishers, they have to get tested specifically, and then, if there's something wrong with them, they'll swap them out and things like that for you.
we go to ABC, but I
Yeah.
figured if you guys had somebody that could do that now,
No.
okay. So I'll just take it to CBC, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I also need to still wrap my head around this, but I am probably going to keep this on the screen too, if I can figure out how to do it without messing it up.
You should make Deputy Harvey read it.
No, I'm not going to do that to him. If I could. Make this bigger. Here we go.
See how much better it is?
All right, I'm failing at having this on the screen and it legible. I'm sorry, guys. I'll improve upon that next month. We are at our 80 hours for target hours for the month of December. I'm probably going to rewrite and reorganize this a little bit because I don't have an Excel program. And then we also have a really short list of all the different things that happened in the village. I don't know if I'm going to read all of these things every month or just pick out things that are important or weird.
They're all important.
They're all important. You want to hear every single one of them every month?
Everyone.
Okay. Alarm activated, entry or burglary, 1. Disturbance or fight, 1. Fire, transformer, wires, 1. That was fun. I didn't have power for over 24 hours. Guns discharged, 1. Extra patrols, 55. Victor watch, 2. I learned the other day that some of these extra patrols could be Victor watches as well. They might not be separated correctly. Suspicious person and vehicle, 2. Suspicious vehicle, 1. Call canceled, accidental form, 1. Building check, 1. Breathing problems, 2. Citizens assist, standby, 4. Gas leak, 1. Invalid assist, lift assist, invalid assist, 1. Sick person, 1. Trees or branches down, 2. Traffic stops, 4. Unconscious, fading, unresponsive, 2. Welfare checks, 5. And then it says lines down, no FD. Does that, Alan, go along with the transformer and the wires that are at the top here, the 28U?
I have to reference that, but I'm guessing that they're probably related, or, example would be if one citizen calls in something and they record it as this, another citizen calls in on the same incident, they record it as that.
Okay, understood.
A little bit of that.
The code in dispatch is no FD, but it's actually FD is going. It's lines down, no FD, just how
No.
it's coded.
Okay, all right.
So the fire department goes to the lines, that'll be lines down.
Okay.
Fire department.
And I'm thinking, there was a fire there, wasn't there? The lines, somebody told me the lines had caught the trees and things on fire, or was it just, but nothing out of control? My house is super close to there. Thank you for showing up. Does anybody have any questions that I'm going to refer to Alan to answer for me this month?
In the minutes, it had something about checking for when the police contract would,
We have a new contract for tonight.
we do?
We do.
Okay. And the other one was the Simon grant termination date. That would be on repairs, right? The warranty, Alan?
Yeah, on the grant, yes, I'm right in the middle process of that. Like the theory, we should have it wrapped up by Wednesday. We
Okay.
don't have to have it done till.
I was just referring back to the things that were outlined on the minutes. That was one I'm about to find out that date.
I tried to get it done, but didn't happen.
Sorry, I'm sure it's not like this
It was
week
gonna
or
be a
something.
giant pain in the butt, and I'm not disappointed.
That's any questions I have.
Okay. I don't
know
have,
if anybody else does.
anybody have any other questions? No, because I can't answer them tonight. Give me a minute to wrap my head around everything. I'll answer them next month. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Alan, do you have something? That,
No,
I know you said you were
it's
gonna,
really detailed out there. That's all I have to get, Tammy to get her arms around how to present it. She may want to do a different type of presentation in the future, so you and her can work on how that flows.
all right, well, thanks for transferring all that information to me.
I have a question. That, message that I sent around about the person driving all over the yard, should I have called and reported that as a police report?
Yes.
Yeah,
So, this goes back to my point, when anything happens, call 725-6631. That way, there could have been a deputy right up the road, and they'll meet with whoever wants to report it, and then I'll come out, take a report. In the instance with that email, it got sent to Ellen sent it to me, I sent it from the next day to the whole road division and the Chippewa Lake guy. So you can see the way that went. If it was an active type call, somebody's turning, I didn't hear about it until the next day.
right. Well, and, I was just,
I would, sorry to interrupt, you can do one, the best thing to do is call dispatch and send the email, so then.
right. Yeah, okay, yeah, hindsight. I just,
So on that,
yeah,
I have knocked on a lot of doors and talked to a lot of residents up at Bungalow Bay. I haven't caught the armed roosters yet.
I've talked to all of them. Nobody has any video. I talked to the armed roosters, I've talked to many people.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, so I got the thumb drive from the security cameras on the tennis courts. It did not pick it up
Right,
because they're motion activated for the tennis courts.
I'll say one other quick thing, is whoever was involved those yards, they would have to call us, because the first thing we do is if there's no victim, there's no crime.
right,
So if you're calling on somebody else's behalf, we're not gonna do anything. That property owner would have to call us. If it's on a village property,
right,
then anybody from the council could call me. It's no different, if you have a family member that breaks into your house and you don't wanna do anything, the police aren't gonna do anything. The victim of that crime would have to report it to the police.
Well, and I
department.
notified every one of those people. Did anybody call? Nobody called. That's why I said I wasn't
And then-
sure if it was a crime or obviously I think.
So obviously, if the turfing went through the snow and damaged the grass, that could be criminal damaging, criminal
Right.
mischief possibly. But if it's something that they don't want reported,
Right,
So, I did find out that it happened between 10 PM and 1 AM, 1:15. I did find that out from one resident.
what
Yeah.
day was that again?
10 PM,
No.
What
no,
night?
day?
The date,
Friday, 9 years ago,
yeah,
the second or third or whatever.
Friday would have been the second.
yeah, Friday the 2nd, yep,
So it was, Friday, 10 PM to sometime Saturday, 1 AM. One of the residents on Parkway Path said they left at 10 o'clock and there was no damage when they got back home at 1. It was, you could see the one resident on Parkway Path, they did run over one of his posts at the end of his driveway, damaged it, knocked it down, broke it, whatever, so, and I did get the cameras.
He didn't call us, though, right?
No. So, the cameras pick up traffic on Bungalow Bay if something on the tennis courts activates it. So if they're playing pickleball and a FedEx truck goes the wrong way around Bungalow Bay, it'll pick that up. But if there's no activity on the tennis, because it's motion activated, like the motion light, sensor lights.
I contacted when I walked back through, I looked at everybody's Ring doorbells and I called them, nobody had anything. And somebody said, well, someone had to pick it up, and I said, even my Ring doorbell, it's not all catching all the others. I don't want every car that drives by.
Well, a lot of them pick up.
Going back to the
It doesn't
point,
But yes,
that person never called that had, so even, let's say you just concerned you call, the first thing I'm gonna say is, okay, what property of yours or the village is damaged? I'm gonna say, no, it was this person. They don't call us, we're not gonna investigate it, because it's their property that.
That's how I told them that he needed to report it.
so I could have called, any of us on council could have called about the circle, because we're,
If it's village property, absolutely.
Park.
Yeah.
It looked like it was a pickup truck based on the tires, but, the tire tracks, but. So, yeah, a lot of the Ring cameras get live footage, but it doesn't record, so, or they don't have it programmed to record, so.
The other, if you call dispatch, there could have been, this seemed to be a very careless kind of a driver. He wasn't targeting somebody because he did it all over the place. But there could have been, the deputy could have actually stopped that guy on that person out on Lake Road, a separate incident, didn't know anything about the other thing, and they could put two and two together. And,
Or it could have been a drunk driver, and then it doesn't matter if it's any property that's a crime against the state. If it's a drunk driver, we're gonna prosecute him. If it wasn't drunk, don't do it. Or some kids drinking, just being cute, then that doesn't matter. If it's somebody's property because it's a
right.
drunk, or there being reckless operation, that's a state.
Nobody in the areas even knew anything happened until they got up in the morning, well, except for the guy in Parkway Path. When he got home at 1 o'clock, he saw it.
And even when I called Barb, she didn't think I was serious.
No, I knew you were serious about it, I just like, Saturday morning, what do you want me to do? I mean, I wasn't sure what I was gonna do about it, but I did talk to a lot of residents, and nobody saw or heard anything.
Is there all right, as a resident here, can I call on the village property?
You can call about anything, but we're not gonna take a police report if it's not your property for you calling.
It is my property, I own property in this village.
Your property, your.
My property as well as all the rest of this.
All right, that's fine, you can say that. If it's a village property, they have to call us, I'm telling you. You don't own the village, I know you.
It has to be one of these six that calls.
No. I think the point that needs
Again,
to
the
be made is,
prosecutor isn't gonna
see something,
prosecute
say
anything.
something, call. We can deal with whether somebody gets charged or not later.
And if you're gonna call one of the councilmen or the mayor, call the police too, because that's the other
Yeah,
thing.
don't call council, 725-6631.
Call
That was
police and
my
then call
dad's
council
pet
person
peeve
if it's.
growing up here. Why didn't you call? Well, I didn't want to bother you. Well, then shut up, I don't want to hear about it. That's what he'd say. If you're not gonna take the time to call me when it's happening, don't tell me about it later.
And that unfortunately has gone on for many, many years in this village.
So call.
It's human nature.
Okay. Thank you for
You're welcome.
Okay,
No,
well,
you guys
see, your
can
first
call
safety
us.
report got pretty fired.
Thanks, guys, we'll see you.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Is there anything else for safety? Okay, we'll go to zoning.
Zoning report for January. 9 Parkway Path. Warning notice for excessive growth, 10 days for correction, not corrected. And I turned that over to the attorney to file charges. 9 Parkway Path, a warning notice for an operable vehicle with expired plates, 10 days for correction, not corrected. File charges on this property. 13 Circle Crest Drive, algae mildew on the siding. And I gave them 15 days for correction, and they did not correct it. And I gave the information to Alan to file charges. 13 Parkway Path, in the side yard, they were parking in an area where they're planning to put a driveway. Now they've moved back to the old driveway until we get the permit process taken care of to put in the new driveway for them to park on. And now 12 Parkway Path, 2 inoperable vehicles. One of them has been removed from the property and the other is still in the driveway, so he's working on it. And that's all I have for my report.
I want to add, just for the record, 533 Lee Lore, I've been getting complaints about them allowing their dog to run loose, and I contacted the owner myself, and he said he would reel that in and not let his dog run loose. And then, trying to think, at the end of the meeting, the council's going into executive session for discussion of a personnel matter and a solicitor permit licensee matter as permitted under the Ohio Revised Code. No formal action will be taken during our executive session, and then following executive session, we'll return to open session
So you're doing that right now?
at the end of the meeting.
Okay, you have to do that just before you go into executive session.
Okay, well, I was asked to say it now, so I can
Yeah,
say it again at the,
you're not allowed to do it till you're ready to go into it.
Right.
It's like to give you guys fair warning that you might have to leave for a while. You will have to. So you get all ready.
The construction on Lee Lord,
Mhm.
when they,
That house, yes.
the plowing, the gravel all over the place.
Oh, no, but that's the house with the dog running around.
Okay, well, they plowed the snow one day and there's gravel all the way from the driveway all the way up to, Chippewa Road. It's in people's yards in the road.
That's all of mine.
It's all over the yard.
The snowplow drivers picked up gravel from that
It
house?
was whoever plowed the construction, the house that's under construction, they plowed that. The
Oh.
driveway is currently gravel, I guess, until they put concrete down. And they pushed it all, they pushed a whole bunch into Conley's yard, and it looks like they tried to correct that, but then it looks like they pulled out of the driveway and plowed towards Chippewa Road, and there's just a whole trail of gravel the whole way along there. And I think they should clean it up.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
I mean, it's-
Again, just like the police incident, we need to know about that when you see it the first time.
Oh, I figured it was a zoning thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a vandalism thing, it's a zoning thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, I mean,
They think you just swoop it into my driveway.
I just thought it was more of a zoning issue as opposed to I mean, it wasn't vandalism.
I think what she's saying is tell her sooner.
Call her like you would call the police.
Yeah, I'm saying you
Oh.
should have called,
Sooner.
Oh, well,
like someone came into the meeting tonight to tell me about an issue that's been ongoing. Well, why didn't you tell me so I could go see it? Like,
I'll put you on speed dial.
yeah. I mean, I called you immediately when I saw an issue in the park, right?
Technically, it's a legal issue too, because using grass clippings as an example, it's against law to blow grass clippings into the street.
From motorcycles.
And so stones.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't say grass clippings, it says debris.
Yeah, I don't know what happens next. I don't know if they would have been required to clean it up.
Yes, they would have
Right, so,
They can still go clean it up.
corrected.
Okay, so we're gonna start better communication,
Leslie,
quicker communication.
4 months ago, you said you were gonna put out a booklet to all the rentals in the neighborhood. Have you done that yet?
I haven't submitted it to anyone yet, but I have it in my bag here.
Is it gonna happen sometime this year?
Council will have to review it and decide if that's how we want to proceed. I mean, we don't know, we also don't know every short-term rental, but yeah.
'Cause
It's
people-
actually, something I'm working on as a courtesy, and that's not a short-term rental that you complained about tonight. And I also already have that issue resolved. That was actually family members of the owner, and they corrected that drive. All you have to do sometimes is make a call and let someone know something's going on.
I talked to a person that was gonna rent a house not far from your house.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, there's only 2 parking places here, where can I park?
In those 2 parking places, that's it, yeah.
But if he doesn't have a booklet that tells him what he can and can't do.
That's online. That's all available on our website.
People are not gonna go there when they're looking for a place to rent. They're not gonna go to our.
What do you want us to
website
do, call them all? You can only do what you can do. Putting it on the website is one way that people can do it, and it seems like,
Long-term renters, actually, to be honest, the owners should be telling them all of this. This booklet I'm talking about, or a flyer for the fridge, that's just a courtesy. We don't have to do that. It's just something I'm trying to do. Honestly, if you see something, just say something. I knew that owner that you complained about tonight, called him right up. She's like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I'll call them right now. And she texted me again and said they've already fixed it. And then there was another issue going on, I mentioned it last week, but there was other things going on. There's a short-term rental on Brookshore down between Rock Ridge and the lakefront. And I was walking and saw that people were all parked in the street. I contacted the owner and she called them right away and they moved out of the street. So, I mean, there's some things we can call the police about, but there's some things, if we know the people, just say something, so. But as far as that booklet, I mean, yes, I think it's a great idea, but then it got to be too much that I was like, okay, I'm not gonna give these short-term rental owners like a whole welcome packet, welcome to the village. I started to make it like, welcome to the village of Chippewa Lake. This is our mayor. This is who you call. And then I was like, the homeowners should be doing this. This is way too complicated. All we need is a simple flyer. So that I'm trying to simplify it and then I'll present it to council, see if we want to.
have we,
Everybody can have one.
yeah,
It could
I
be
thought
like
you
a
were
fridge
gonna,
magnet. We can,
I thought you were gonna make something for the owners. I thought we had decided that there's a lot of new owners of these properties that don't know the rules
that's what it's
either.
for, yeah.
And like you said, you called the owner, but
I called the
do
owner.
you
of
have a
the
list
property
of
on
the
Rock Ridge
owners?
Street.
Like, maybe not everybody would know who the owner would be.
I looked them all up. There's only one house in the village that we don't know who the owner is. It's near you. Right? Jim? Right? Isn't that the one house that we just don't know the owner? That short-term rental that's in an LLC, behind an LLC, behind an LLC?
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, we could never catch up with that one.
Right. But they're not really violating anything anymore.
So could you eventually have kind of a list of owners? So
Mhm.
in case the rest of us don't know them, we can call Leslie who knows everything.
Did
Years
that house
ago,
on the corner get sold to a company that does short-term rentals? The house on the corner,
No, behind me?
yeah,
No, I think it's just like
on Shorefield.
No, but he's gonna long-term rent because it didn't sell. He's gonna get it, not short.
do you remember years ago when we were talking about this, it first came up? And I think it was, I may have suggested it, I'm not sure, but to have some sort of a permit or an application or at least something that said, I plan to have I'm the owner of this property and I plan to rent. It was like a renter's catalog that we were gonna be able to keep track of who's living in a place and who's renting that place. If it wasn't for a realtor on the council, I wouldn't know anything that's going on.
Neither would any of the rest of us.
So, I mean, that's like a privileged information thing for her side of it, but for me, like if I roll up on a house and I'm like, aren't you so-and-so? No, I'm just renting here. I'm here for a weekend. You know, I don't know these things. So I think there should be some sort of registration for it. If you're going to have your house as an Airbnb or a rental, short-term, more long-term, I think that it should be
Some
registered.
communities do require that.
But then, when something happens, I have a phone number to call
So you
somebody.
can't, if you have a house that somebody's gonna rent, short-term, long-term, you have to apply or do application and pay a fee to have that.
Not pay a fee, register.
Well,
Or-
I'm talking about city of Canton.
Right.
If you have a rental in the city of Canton, you actually have to have I don't know if it's a permit or what, but you pay a fee to be able to do that.
Yeah.
$50 a year.
Poor Jim's in a position that he's in, he doesn't know anything when it comes to renting houses, unless he happens to know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that was, Lodi might have spawned that, because they do that in Lodi, they have registration, rental registration. And I think I brought that up back when I was.
Is there anybody that rents a house or just the Airbnb crowd?
Well, I think to keep.
There's a lot of people that rent houses, I mean.
Yeah.
Sure, but to keep our arms around this Airbnb stuff and to at least have a contact, because it's really easy to make a phone call to a homeowner and say, hey, I don't like what's going on over here. Can you do something about this?
That's why I think we ought to go back to that plan to get the names of the people that own the Airbnbs and make sure they know the rules.
Right.
Because in many cases,
that
I
would
don't
come-
think they do.
That would be like a handshake thing with you register here and here's your flyers. Hang these on your refrigerator and let your renters know this is what's going on.
So like the guy on Rockbridge, when I called him about people parking in the yard, he said he had no idea. He said even if I do it sometimes, I didn't know. So he asked where the guidelines were, and I told him, I actually sent him a link where he could, look them up online.
Yeah, that was the one where we knew the owner didn't live there long enough to know the rules himself, much less pass them along.
Right.
We have two ordinances. One is 314 in the zoning book that says no parking in the yards, and then there's another one in the miscellaneous ordinance of storage of vehicles and things like that. So there's a couple different places. But realize this, Mr. and Mrs. Resident, when I come to your door and I'm giving you a warning notice, which is a courtesy, you've already violated one of the ordinances. So you are responsible or could be taken to and filed charges on at that point. But we did a warning notice to let people know, educating them in a way.
When Alan let you know he wasn't gonna be here tonight, did he mention filing charges from last month's meeting
No.
where he said he would file charges?
No, and I was gonna ask him about that. I asked him about something else that was in the minutes. And he was hurting pretty bad when he called. Guess he was trying to lift something, and he did something to his bicep, and he needs surgery, been to the doctor, he got some medication. Sounds like it just happened, and he's going tomorrow. And he said he drove to work, but he was having a really hard time with it. I don't know if it was because of pain or his arm or both. And he kept feeling nauseous, so he didn't feel he should come here. Probably not.
It's not safe for you to drive.
So I didn't ask him too much. There was something else in his report I did ask him, but I was just writing down my notes and I was gonna ask him about all that because I had just read it, but he was not in a condition, I don't think.
Just a quick Google on Airbnb regulations and stuff. Local permits and registrations, most cities require hosts to register annually and get a permit, often with a fee and background checks, and their example is Columbus.
Yeah, we can definitely look into that.
Yeah, if we're supplying, literature and whatnot, I don't see a problem charging a fee.
Well, the whole council
There
is
may
your
be one
committee,
guy.
so maybe somebody can help you with that. Leslie.
Right,
I know
yeah,
you've
no,
been
I think it's a
busy.
great, yeah, definitely worth looking
You
into.
got new council people here, you don't know their skills, maybe they're, pros at this sort of thing.
Right,
Here's what I asked Alan about. Alan was, I asked him if he confirmed anything about lowering the taxes on some of these properties in Village Homes, and he had not gotten around to that yet. So I knew I asked him one thing, but I was gonna ask him about filing the charges, but I figured I knew the answer already, so I could ask.
There are some instances that I've contacted by residents here, homeowners, property owners, that have maybe an extra lot, or they have two lots that they built into, and they're being charged. And I've taken the time to write the letter to the auditor for them on their behalf to try and explain that the way that the property is situated, this is only one property and not two separate lots. And they're being charged for two separate lots. So I've done that before, and I'm very willing to step up and help whoever I can in that instance.
Okay. Well, let's see what they are. I know you had a bunch of them lowered already last year, didn't you, Gary?
What's that?
a bunch of those village properties, they had their taxes
Yes.
lowered because they were outrageous and never, most of the stuff on Chippewa Road was unbuildable and everything else.
Right. Mhm.
Okay, guys, anything else for zoning?
I don't,
Okay, then we'll go to community relations. Yep.
Okay, the only thing I know about is the polar bear jump on the 31st.
Okay.
So other than that, we're not doing anything this morning.
No movie at Point Park this month?
It is way too cold for that.
They're gonna have the Polar Express down there, private show for your.
I love that movie.
Alan, did you want to expand a little bit on the polar bear and the closing of the roads and stuff like that? Okay.
Yeah. The polar bear is sponsored by the Chippewa Lake Lions Club Foundation, and they really appreciate the cooperation of the village. And this is the 16th annual. It's going to be held the 31st, Saturday the 31st. Because of the outdoor event, we have backup dates on February 15th and the 28th in case they're needed. So noon will be a run walk. Typically they'll start down by the beach area, go up beach side, up to Leavenworth, turn around and come back. They don't get on the Chippewa Road like they did in the past. Walkers do 1 lap, runners do 2 laps. And then once that's over around 1:15, they'll start the jump activities. Have to be 11 years old with parent or guardian sign off to do the jump. Walkers should be 6 years old with the guardian sign off. It's a really important fundraiser for the community. Last year they raised over $77,000. And it's generated by corporate sponsors. There's a big charity raffle, participants, there's a nice after party, the best after party.
Are there gonna be entertainment at the after party?
And the entertainment will be a duet called Jim and Lindsay. Perform well in the village, and we're gonna do a little harmony. But it's a fun time. After this year, the Lions Club Foundation is expected to have dispersed over $500,000 to the community in the last 16 years. Goes to many important activities of the village, Pride, Ski Club, also food security through Church of the Lake, Cross Points activities, does a number of things, grief share, meal programs, and society of handicapped citizens. Very proud of that. And roughly 85 volunteer slots are filled for that day. Blocking roads to running all the things up the village end. That does not include the 3 fire departments that are there helping us chop ice. It is actually a cold weather training, or cold water training for the fire department. So they're actually doing something official there. EMA surprised supplies some heated tents. There's just a lot going on. Park district's involved, show team is involved, ski show team, SHC does a lot of volunteers, Cross Point does a lot of volunteers. Lafayette, Westfield, and Seville, their fire departments and their EMS are there. We have divers in the water, 2 divers in the water at all times. And just a lot going on. Learning Garden provides vans, the Oakstead's parking lot, Village Inn is the headquarters for everything. Church of Lake provides warm refreshments at the beach. Learning Gardens does vans for transportation. We have Gia Zumba Girl that does warm-ups for that, and then all the Lions Club and the other community members. So we thank the village and all those.
For a small community to come up with that much money for the Lions Club, I mean, Lions Club International, that's gotta rank up there in some of the bigger communities as far as fundraising.
It does. Remember we had that guy from Broadview Heights rating about how they had a haunted house and how much money they didn't make. They did longer than we do because we do just part of one afternoon. And they did like a whole week and they didn't get near what we had.
Yeah, we're very proud. Community of 800 people, and that's part of it. Great. Corporate sponsors is a big chunk of that, so people, companies or individuals from all over the area make that happen. I'm very pleased. When we started it, 46 Run is probably one of the best polar bear jumps in the country. We might have 130 people, they have 800 people.
Oh,
Wow.
They raised, but that 800 people only raises about $120,000. We got 800 people that raises.
Look how many businesses there are in that area compared to here.
Yeah, we're just delightful of that. We try and keep where the money flows to in the geographic areas. Certainly want to take care of important things in our community. So, we stayed away from the national, they do a lot of, not that these aren't wrong, but Ronald House, and other big charities, but we know that money goes to the community area. They have high overhead on that. The Lions Club does it all for free. So you have really good flow of the bottom line to the public, so.
Could I say two things I don't think you're totally stressed? Because you know how I am, Alan, you know I'm going to say something to you. You didn't specify that Beachside Boulevard would be closed from approximately noon to a little after 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I apologize.
And like, in Mark Ruder's famous words, everybody that lives in this village that knows anything knows at least 10 ways to get to their house without going on Beachside Boulevard. So it shouldn't be too much of an inconvenience, but just so everybody knows. The other thing is you can buy a raffle ticket. I don't know if you touched on this, ChippewaLakeLionsClub.com. The first prize is free.
I got flyers here, you can do that. I apologize on closing a lead lore and Beachside, maybe 11:30 till roughly 1 o'clock. Also, any needs and charges volunteers, she'll reach out to the Postal Service, FedEx, Amazon.
Right.
Make sure the trucks don't try and come down into that.
It's not a real long period of time, so hopefully it doesn't disturb anybody. Buy those. What are the prices on the raffle? 3,000, 1,500, and 500
That's right.
for a $50 ticket. All the proceeds are used for the charity, except, for the proceeds, give up the prize. And they're very easily obtained. ChippewaLakeLions.com.
Appreciate it. Good job.
I got a question. If you pass something along to them, if Lions Club, if they need to use our swimming platform, that it be put back on the beach that day.
Well, it was frozen in last year.
No, it's sat there. That's why it was frozen in there. Because it was. They could have, if they hauled it off the lake that day after the run and jump.
Didn't they try to do that when it was frozen already?
We could not get it off. It was frozen solid to the ice, and it created a lot of other problems.
I
couldn't question that.
The fire department helps us with chopping up ice, and they've got an army of people there. And one of the charges of that is to get the swim platform off.
Okay.
We've worked with Lafayette Township, Tom Road, to make sure that's done, and they have a big forklift that helps us lift it into the water, and if we got other needs.
Okay.
We have a regime change at Lafayette. I've talked to Al on who's gonna be the new contact. I think they don't know until the 15th, so there's some things we don't know about, but we rely on the fire departments to initiate that. And that's one of them, but last year was very unusual.
Yeah, but I thought everything else, I mean, okay, it was frozen in there, then that nobody took it off, but there was no ice there, it's floating around the lake.
There was.
And you had to deal with it, because you had to spend hours and hours repairing it.
It was tied to something at the shore and that got loose, so it did, but what ended up, there was an emergency water rescue.
We're done.
The fire department to go through the mechanisms of going to retrieve that. But that was a bit of embarrassment, but once it got away from us,
Happens.
It's the only time it's happened, every other time we've got it up.
I think that lake should be pretty solidly frozen though, because I think from this Thursday to the end of the month, it's not gonna be above freezing.
And while we like single digits, you can really make ice, and if you get below single digits, then you really make ice. So we had good ice last year, but we're here, we had 18 years.
The water's gonna be cold no matter what.
Water is somewhere between 34 and 37 degrees.
Yeah, there you go.
Anybody to tell me the difference. So, thanks for all your.
Nice report, Deb.
Oh, thank you.
I want to add thank yous for the party.
Go ahead.
So I have one thing to add just to kind of wrap up with the breakfast with Santa that we had, which I need to thank Deb because she was there helping me. She's always there at the events actually helping me. I want to thank Ken and Lori for helping. They always help with the food and get things ready for us. I need to thank my husband for showing up in a big green elf costume. And then I also want to thank Jim. He did, it was really cool. We made pancakes I can't say we, it was nothing me to do with it. It was actually all Jim made pancakes on the spot this year. And we've never done that before. And that actually turned out really nice. So I want to say thank you for that as well. It was appreciated.
You're ahead, but you're a real professional.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
absolutely
Oh,
perfect. And I also want to thank everybody who came to participate. We had about 35 children and we had parents along with grandparents with children in here. So we have a full house for Christmas with breakfast.
And we had
Santa.
nice decorations inside.
We did. Yeah. I had a friend who did, he's a little over the top with costumes and he has a vintage Santa outfit that he wore for me. And his wife was Mrs. Claus and she's an artist. Not by trade, she's a personal trainer, but she's an artist and she has this beautiful backdrop that we were able to use for pictures this year that turned out really nice. It was really pretty and they did a good job. And that's all I wanted. I just wanted to give thanks for due. And I'm sure I missed people. So if I missed you, I'm sorry. I thank you for helping out.
Tamara, so you started a nice tradition there.
I didn't start it. I just continued it. I think Ken started the tradition with breakfast with Santa.
Purpose is that.
We used to
Yeah.
have a Christmas party years ago, but it was not as loud as that. It was just
The,
hot chocolate, popcorn. Stuff like that.
as long as I've been on council, we've had a breakfast with Santa with the elves.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice
It is.
tradition. You guys are getting it better every year.
Did we not have a town hall when I was a kid? Because I
Yes.
went to Gloria.
It was
Yes.
like
At the,
a shoebox
Where
compared
they,
to.
Because I did
well, that's
breakfast
the
with
building
Santa
that's
at
up by
Gloria,
Andy Weimer's house. That's where we had it inside there.
at the Gloria Glenn's town hall is where I,
This was on the Chippewa and the Lake Town Hall.
Mm.
Then we had it out in the park.
right?
Then we had a hay wagon would come take the kids around.
Hmm.
Then the guy that was driving the hay wagon, somebody told him he could get sued, so he quit driving it.
No,
So
you
then,
really could.
then we got another hay wagon, we borrowed it from Boyards, and of course halfway through, it got a flat tire.
At Christmas time with Santa?
Yeah,
You did hay rides?
yeah, we'd go up by the tree, that's cut down now in the circle and have a Christmas caroling. And then Santa would come and take everybody for a hay ride, and then they'd go up and have hot chocolate, get a popcorn ball and
We
candy
could have made
cane.
our own Hallmark movie. We need to look into
We
this.
were ready. for that. And then people stopped coming, so we couldn't have it.
Yeah.
Briar did theirs over at John Rush's place.
And then one year, the year we put them both together, that's the year that we didn't get a turnout, and the fire department was all decked out, ready for everybody to come, because we were expecting a crowd, and nobody came, and then we didn't do it anymore. But anyway, it was nothing as elaborate as what's happening now.
We get a good crowd.
Okay, building and utilities, Barb?
So, going back to the vandalism, the off-road driving that we had, one of the residents up on Bungalow Bay allows us to operate those cameras off of his Wi-Fi, and he doesn't charge us for it, but it requires us to put a thumb drive in the base station in his house. And he pretty much said, basically, we need to get an online account with Arlo so that those cameras can be viewed from anywhere remotely. So we need to probably set up some kind of, Gary, you would have to do that to get the account. I looked it up, it's unlimited cameras for a basic plan, which is all we need. We don't need emergency notification or anything like that. We just need the basic thing so we can view the cameras. It's $18 a month plus tax, which I don't know, we would be tax exempt for that as well.
Right.
So it comes out to a little bit more than $200 a month or a year. I don't know if they have yearly plans or not, I can look into that and get you the information.
Okay.
So, I would like to, I want to make a motion that we, contract with Arlo to be able to view the cameras remotely.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Do we have grant funds that we can use towards that since it would be,
We could use NOPEC for that.
yeah,
We
Right, for
probably,
safety,
I'm assuming we could use NOPEC for that.
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah.
for
Reload.
the 2026 grant.
So
Do you have a pet grant?
I think that's been allocated.
I think somebody's using that already. Ken,
Yeah,
mhm.
you're using it.
yeah, the parking blocks.
Right.
I think we have, that was ordered, that's, take care, you got that in?
Right, it's ordered.
Okay,
How would you use a no-pet grant if you're doing a monthly pay?
If they had a yearly plan,
Right.
you could include it on on your list for your year of expenses and submit it, right?
I don't think we used any of the money last year that we had allocated. I think I contacted you a month ago to see what our balance was with that. I think
Right.
we had quite a bit of money there right now.
Correct.
So you can probably check to see if we can use some of that money to get some kind of like trail cams to put over by Reese's Pond also.
yeah. that's-
What I want,
Connected,
No,
one access.
No. because you need the you need the Wi-Fi
That's.
for the Arlos, which you can, most of the trail cams would be like a cell
Something else
tower,
across the street. No.
like a cell tower. So, and I know, Bill, you sent me some information about trail cams, so I've looked at a couple of different ones, so we'll look at that and try to get like a trail cam to put up over maybe by Reese's Pond.
Can't we get a booster off this building to make it to the pond?
For the Arlos,
For Wi-Fi.
we can check into it,
Yeah,
we can check into it.
And I think we can get a booster, especially if we put it out by the siren.
The other thing, Barb, you might want to consider is just getting signs that say that this is under,
We talked about
yeah,
that.
we're working on that. I was waiting on, Alan's gonna give me some verbiage, because we're gonna use the penalty. We're gonna use the state of Ohio there, by score, like, what did you say was?
I can't remember all
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I spoke with them, well, I sent him an email today, he, you know, he didn't get back to me, but that'll be done, we can't put it in the ground anyways, but I have all laid, so they look really nice. They're gonna be low profile, so it's not ugly, and, not sticky, 5 feet in the air. Just a-
down at the dump, there's, all kinds of signs around the recycle area that say this is under watch of the cameras.
I'll have to show you
You
what I
have no
what I
idea
have.
if there's a camera around there at all.
Yeah, run. None. We're gonna have a camera, so watch out.
So you don't necessarily have to.
Well, I know even like at the Oaks, there's a big sign as you're approaching the Oaks that says the area is under surveillance, and I don't know if there's cameras
Is it?
on. If there was, you would think they would have caught the people that did the off-roading, because they did a lot of damage up there. So, okay, so we'll look into some cameras and or a booster,
Yeah.
check into that. Let's see, the American flag up on Bungalow Bay is getting tattered, so I will check and, get a new flag for that. And, also, the Chippewa Lake flag that was up there was damaged, one of the grommets broke on it. So, Bill fixed it, but then he kept the one that was broken that he fixed, and he donated his to the village. So I think that when the time comes around, if we can find out who's selling these Chippewa Lake flags, we'll just get a new one and replace the one that Bill. So I think we should do that. The floodlights at Bungalow Bay near the shuffleboard court, the floodlights, one is cycling and one is out. I've been going back and forth with First Energy about fixing it. And I talked to some of the residents. First Energy wanted to take the floodlights off of that pole and put one where Bungalow Bay comes around to exit, and they wanted to put the other one in front of, Benninger's house. And they were like, no, we don't want more light here. So I told First Energy to just fix the ones that are on that pole. So if they haven't been fixed, they will be soon. They should be getting fixed soon. The one that was, LED light down by the lakefront by Wolf's house has been fixed. I don't know how they got in the gate, the park, the beach. I don't know how they got in there. They drove the truck in there and contacted me and let me know they were down there, but I don't know who unlocked the, boat gate for them, but.
Maybe they came through the office.
What's that?
They pulled the pole out,
Yeah, which has been fixed.
which has now been cemented in, and they won't be doing that again.
They pulled the pole out?
They pulled the pole out.
Are you sure it was them, Bill?
Huh?
Are you sure it was them that did that?
I'm not sure who it was, but somebody did.
It was pulled out, yeah.
It was pulled
Because there was
out.
a time when people come in through the Oaksley too. around
Well,
the house.
I can't see First Energy taking the time and energy to do that. In the past, they said, we're not going in there. If we can't get a key to the gate, we're not going in there. So I told them to get a ladder, go out there and do it the old fashioned way. So Alan sent me a text and said they were down there fixing it, but I didn't know how they got in. He said their truck was in there. I don't remember what day. I had to check the text to see.
It was open, I didn't look to see poles there.
Yeah. Check that. When was the pole pulled out and fixed?
I fixed it about 2 weeks ago. I cemented that pole back in the ground 2 weeks ago, and it was pulled out about, I'm gonna say a month ago.
I think that might have been before. Are you checking your text?
Was it a text or a picture?
I think it was a text.
I'm not sure.
Okay, NOPEC left us a little treat on the building. It's for council members. So if any of you would like me to help you with your New Year's resolutions, maybe that you've given up candy and sweets and stuff, just let me know. Otherwise, there's treats here from NOPEC for council.
Like how she gave them to you, Ken.
I guess they're mine.
Well, take one and pass it around. Okay, I did maybe go get coffee for the building, but also I did pick up like paper towels for the bathroom and the counter here and Kleenex and stuff like that. So I appreciate Gary's help with that. We got that from Home Depot since Reinhardt's is closed now.
There may be coffee here that I bought for the Christmas party.
Okay, maybe, I know we were running low.
We were very low, and it was one of those things that I'd picked up on my list of things.
Okay,
So it may be in that cupboard. I don't know if anybody's gonna like it. It's coffee I like. And you guys know how I like my coffee.
Is this what you brought in?
Yes, it is.
I would take that home if I were you.
But
You
it-
didn't get reimbursed for that.
I know it was on the reimbursement receipt, so no, it belongs to the village.
So, okay.
I got it at Walmart. It
It
was,
was in there.
yeah, sorry guys.
So what time are we meeting for coffee tomorrow here?
It'll have to be about 8:30. I have to be at work at 10.
And I think that is it for old business stuff here. I have some other comments, but I'll wait until new business.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Parks, Ken?
Okay, I don't have a whole lot going on. We touched on the signs, so I'm just waiting some verbiage to have them done correctly. But they're gonna be nice. They're all but manufactured. Oh, and somebody mentioned, a couple of us mentioned about using our boat sticker, our boat docking funds for park projects. And I think that would make sense because it's kind of coming out of parks a little bit.
John Pandora actually has wants to talk to council about that same thing.
Okay, and what I wanted to do, I was going to, I thought about that, and I think everyone was kind of in agreement. We haven't really used that money for anything. I'll let John speak to that too. My thoughts were, we mentioned how we needed to rehab Bungalow Bay, the park up there. Again, there's rebar that's coming through it's just in disarray, it's in really bad shape.
There's
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
that are bad.
So similar to, yeah, it's dangerous too. I
And
mean,
there's
it
that
could be
whole
right where the
cave,
church
like
is.
the concave, like the sinkhole thing and the thing that's,
Yeah.
This
And
park
I don't know if you
looks
saw
great.
them.
yeah, this one's nice.
This park
Yeah,
looks great.
yeah, and I'm gonna talk to the same guy, see if he's available, and I'll get some quotes. We'll start with that, and then we can council about letting use those funds towards that, and then other projects, but it would be a nice thing to do is, put it back into parks and improve our Point Park. I know she's got some ideas to rehab that area. Yeah, I think we should start moving on that. Yeah, I don't really have anything. It's kind of, quiet time of year.
I had mentioned to you about putting in a gaga ball pit
Oh, yeah,
for
yeah.
kids.
Mhm.
And right after I said that to you, I was at Root Middle School, and they had one out on their playground. And I mean, it's something that even some handy people in the village could make one. I've got pictures of it.
Okay.
But if you don't know what gaga ball is, kids absolutely love it. And I think it would be good to have something, you know, we've done a lot of things for the adults in the village.
Yeah.
And I think if we put a gaga pit in somewhere,
So what is it?
it's like an octagon shaped pit, and the walls are about this high. And you just have a little opening, a gate where kids can come in and out, or they can climb over if it's sturdy enough. But you get something like a volleyball or a dodgeball, and you get in the pit and you have to smack the ball with your hand. So it's like a dodgeball game to an extent, but it's a very controlled area. So imagine if we were all in this area and you just smack the ball around with one hand. If you get hit by the ball, you're out. And you can't, you know, if you get hit, you know, there's rules where if you hit the ball out, you're out. If you catch the ball, you're out. If you get hit in the torso, you're not out. But you just have to try to stay in this little area and not get hit by the ball when you're in there. And I know when I was teaching, whenever we had an opportunity, like a free day, the kids always wanted to play dodgeball, and they would come out of there just soaking wet, sweating.
Wow.
So it's just a lot of fun. The kids will know what it is.
They actually sell it on Amazon.
They have kids, but I
Do something kind
have
of.
some pictures of it. It's something that could very easily be made that would be probably sturdier than anything that you could buy.
Right,
We literally at school would just take cafeteria tables or something like this
right,
and just turn them on their side.
yeah.
Just so you had a thing, so that if you hit the ball, it would rebound off of the table and then maybe come back and hit somebody. So I used to play with the kids all the time. It was great.
It's a fun idea. That's interesting. Never heard of
But
it.
it's, I mean, the kids love it, but it would be, I mean, we could put it right out here, so it could, you know, the cameras would be there to keep an eye on it, or we put cameras someplace else. I think you really kind of need to have.
There's plenty of room at Point Park for something
It
like
makes sense
that.
at Point Park, right?
Yeah,
My only concern, it would be great, and it would probably get used a lot.
flooding.
My only concern would be the flooding, because you need to have some kind of a surface. You know, you're not really relying on the surface for the ball to bounce or anything like that, more so for it to roll. So, like the parking lot out here would be fine, or like maybe a limestone surface like is on the bocce courts.
Yeah, we
Something
can
like
do
that.
that.
The grass on Bungalow Bay, that whole area there, no?
I mean, we could, I don't, if it gets used a lot, it's gonna, I mean, it would have to get mowed, if you have grass in there, it's gonna have to get mowed.
It has to be more of a stone. or-
Well, no, I mean, but you would have to build a lawnmower and do it mow. If it's getting used a lot, the grass would
Yeah,
trample,
can it crap?
which then it might be mud.
Could you put something?
I think
Look
maybe
at
like
bocce
limestone,
ball, the
like
stuff.
limestone, like, or whatever that surface is. So I think that would be something that we should, we've done a lot of things around here with the kayak thing for the adults and the bocce and the pickleball and shuffleboard, all this adult stuff, but, and we're always talking about how the kids are always
What
getting
about, like those frisbee things?
disc golf.
The disc golf? I mean, is that?
I mean, you could have disc golf, I mean, that's, I mean, all you're doing really is putting a post with a basket on it in different locations. You could do that and have it go up by Bungalow Bay and come down. I don't know, that property along the lake is,
Where up at Point Park,
You really, I mean, disc golf, I mean, you could have one if you wanted to just have something just for people to play around with. But disc golf is literally like a game of golf, where you just have like 9 holes.
That's right.
And they, I'll tell you, I mean, there's different, they have discs that make right-hand turns and left-hand turns and ones that, I mean, just like golf balls.
Yeah.
They have frisbees that go different directions.
Yeah, the pit sounds really good, and I feel like, as a community, we do have a lot of stuff for adults. And then our playgrounds are really for like toddler, little kids, really. So there's nothing like for middle school, young high school.
Middle school,
Like,
high
yeah, like for the
school,
summer, for them to go and do something. We don't really have, I know, but we don't really have a lot, I think, for this, other than the beach.
Yeah, I guess send me those pictures if you don't mind, and remind me, but I'll get something in motion. I know, John, you get something, when we should be going, you said you had some suggestions, or?
Yeah, John's been thinking about an idea all year about it. He was on the original committee along with Debbie Horning, actually, where they made the arrangements for the village to sell stickers and so forth. So yeah, John has some suggestions too. That, are you ready to talk about it, John?
Sure.
Go ahead.
So I've talked to Glenn about this off and on for a few months ago. And what I was suggesting is that there's lots of ideas on how to spend this money, that the village is getting from road stickers. And what I suggested was that we put together a small group of village residents that have different interests, boating, not boating and whatever, sailing and whatever. And we canvass everybody in the village, or a lot of people in the village, and get ideas and then come up with ways to spend that money that would be appropriate, that we all can support.
Yeah.
The idea there, line mostly seems to be, because it's from boat stickers, the money income is from boat stickers to have by the lakefront if possible. With some suggestions down that way too.
Sure, yeah. Anyone has any suggestions, give me a call. I usually, hey, you brought 2 or 3 great ideas to me that I brought to council, yeah.
I guess
So I don't think we need to have a committee of residents, I think that's necessary. I think all of us here on council are open to ideas. That would just knock it off, I think, it would be. Too many decision makers.
Well, nothing, I mean, it's just, we're just kind of waiting to decide how we want to spend this money.
Oh, I got a lot of business spending.
Right.
Well, first, Bungalow Bay, I mean, that's in Missouri, that's gonna be thousands. I'd be similar to what we did up here, it's really nice, it's necessary, needs to get done.
Right.
And a lot of people use that, there.
And it wouldn't hurt to consider some suggestions. from the public.
Absolutely, yeah, I'm definitely open for suggestions, definitely. Yeah, I mean, you have my contact number, we speak all the time, but I'm definitely, yeah, for sure.
I know there was one plan for the beach wall.
I can't hear, I'm sorry.
Beach wall?
Could you guys? Be quiet.
We're gonna separate them.
You mean like replacing or repairing the
Yes.
beach wall?
Yes.
That's a great idea too. I mean, it's kind of needed, but I thought that was private though. They kind of got stalled out
Where was that?
So it's private, and so that's been talked about for a little bit. I talked to Alan about that, and Alan said that is something that money could be spent on if it was, if the village agreed to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the good thing about that, I mean, so when you think about this, is we have 2 years worth of money, and it's gonna be ongoing, right? It's gonna be year after year, we're gonna have this money come in, so there's lots of things that this money can be spent on. We just gotta have to get a list of them, kind of prioritize what we want to do first and second and third.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the beach wall doesn't have to be first, it can be 10th or whatever.
Be on the list.
Yeah, exactly, but at least we would have a goal of where we wanted to spend this money.
then we could tackle each one of these projects, as they come up.
Yeah.
Well, and can't residents be on or cooperate with our committees?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You have to figure out who you want to decide about this. Do you want the council people to just be the only ones that can decide? Or do you want
Final
input from the
decision, yeah.
citizens? I mean, everybody's,
I
that
think
has a
final
vote is
decision
paying this, so,
would be council, but the residents can bring it to council. I'm open to.
and I think that's
anything.
what John was talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think we should have a committee of residents deciding that. That's my opinion, I'm gonna vote on it.
They should be able to decide what is presented to.
But presented, and then
You guys,
we as the elected
which is then
officials.
decided.
So my suggestion is that we just gather, so like, everybody knows somebody, right? But nobody knows everybody, so you get, 5 or 6 people on this group, and then they talk to a bunch of different people in the village, so that we get a bunch of different ideas, and then kind of sort through the ideas and see what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. Then it's up to.
Similar to the Park District meeting where we all wrote our ideas up on the wall. Our responsibility here at this table is to the residents.
Right, yep.
So what do the residents want?
And it's their
I'm
money,
against that.
they pay for the fees, right?
Well, and I think we
Not
have to be very
necessarily.
careful. Are the voters going to be responsible for doing all this other stuff? That money can be available from somewhere else. I'm thinking boat money should be used for something that affects the lake, the use of the lake, something, the boat ramp, whatever. When we're gonna now we're hunting for places to throw money at, I really have an issue with that. I would rather see us drop what we paid per year. If we have all this abundance of money, it's obvious we don't need it.
We
And I thought that's
we
what
didn't get to make up that though.
We could have used it, we just did it because
Well,
nobody really.
How much is in that fund now, Jerry?
Together. I mean,
Which one
this
is
is.
that?
The boat
There, that's actually dangerous up there. But because
Well,
of
we
the-
have council money that is,
right.
designated for.
Gary's gonna
parks.
tell us how much we have for
Well,
stickers.
I know we had a Tom Melter, I just sent him a text message, because he came to a meeting several months ago and said that historically, that boat sticker, gate fee, whatever money was supposed to be used for the boat ramp, for the boat gate, for the boating stuff.
And there has been a lot of talk about the boat ramp. I'm not a boater, so I don't know what condition the boat ramp's in. It's
Oh,
good,
you
bad.
did the actual concrete part?
Yeah, the ramp itself.
Oh, yeah, I got.
So
Yeah,
I
think
think,
it
but
was
it,
installed.
that was, Tom Melter had been on council and been in the village, and he made the comment that if that's what it's being, the money, the revenue is coming from the stickers and the passes, it should be used for.
Yeah, like I've never looked to see if the boat ramp needs any maintenance. We put our boat in, take it out, we're
Yeah,
done.
I've never noticed that being a problem, but I don't know.
I don't know.
We didn't set the
I think
fee.
The issue is this, I would say, I don't really want to get into an argument or whatever, but I think just because we haven't spent that money doesn't mean we need it. There's lots of things that need repaired, we haven't been focused on that yet. And I was just suggesting to Joanne that we should try to focus on those things that need repaired or fixed or whatever, and then do that, so we have 2 years worth of money now, right?
And how much
And,
is it?
and I don't think we can reduce that money because the Park District has set those fees, right?
I'm not sure, I thought he mentioned at one point, I don't care what you guys charge, it's your money.
We
No,
didn't
it's-
set the fee
they
as
set
council.
the fee.
We didn't set the fee as council. This has to be said.
Correct.
The park district or the committee the park
The
district
committee
came
did
up with,
No,
set
the
that
Park
fee
District did.
But he
between
made a
us
comment, he didn't
and
care
Glory
what we
Cleanse.
charged. But then that's just what you guys came up with.
Right,
So I don't know that price is cut in stone.
it is cut in stone.
It's cut in stone for 20 years.
10 years. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we,
So how much is in
Okay.
that fund,
That's
Gary?
another
Yeah.
issue.
I'll reach out to him and because my understanding that was not cut in stone.
Right.
I was told it was,
But-
they
but-
said a
but
big
we
change
don't want-
recently last year.
My opinion is we don't want to reduce that because we have lots of things to spend that money on.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, but my thinking is, you're asking the voters to pay for everything else in the village, just like roads. I wouldn't want to take money from the road.
I don't think that's what he's doing.
No.
I think the idea is that you're gonna have a segment of people, you know this as well as I do, that say that's money the voters paid,
Yes.
so therefore it should be used on the lake. that's the thing that we have to settle. What do the people want? What is the overwhelming thing, and who gets to decide? So probably asking or getting, if you ask 10 people, you're gonna get 10 different opinions. So I think we should try to find, now that we have 2 years worth of money, did you say yet how much was in that fund?
Last year we
22?
collected 12,000. The first year it was a little over 10,000.
So about 22,000. Then we'll be collecting again this year. So the point I'm trying to make is, we need to decide who's gonna decide. It's gonna be council people, it's gonna be residents, it's gonna be a group of voters, it's gonna be people from the parks. I think we have to kind of make a bit of a decision of how is the fairest way for that to be spent. So I would think that at the beginning of spending money, you spend it on something late and vote related. Then as time goes on, then we'll go to your parks and stuff. Because it is the people with votes that pay. I don't have a vote, I didn't pay any of that money.
Yeah. No, that's fine, that's why it is needed.
And I would imagine
The
that
seawall.
the voters,
Lake wall.
you know, we got a strong voting community, just try to take away the water steam if you want to find that out.
Mhm.
So I could see where the majority of them would probably want the money spent on something lake related, whether it be repairing the boat ramp, that wall. I'm not sure about that one because of the ownership of those properties that through there, but.
Yeah, that's the thing, I don't know much about.
So I think we should get a lot of opinions and, I don't know if you call that forming a committee, but have somebody report to us. And maybe Ken be in the parks or anybody, Debbie's community relations.
Yeah.
Why don't we throw her in the fire? Let her,
Can you do a
let her
survey?
get all of the suggestions and then run them by her, and try to figure out the fairest way.
I agree with John's talking about, getting this group together.
Yeah,
Like I said, I don't think it should be just up to these people.
no, because I don't know how many of us even paid that.
I did.
You did and you did.
It's the people that don't know.
I'm talking about council. I know a lot of you did, but I'm talking on council. I'm not a voter.
Well, Andrew said that the break wall is the responsibility of the property owners, but there are property owners that have break walls that are coming off, like pulling away, because other people's boats are, boat docks are attached to that break wall, and they don't even have a boat on that dock.
So I did reach out to Alan Michelson about that, and I asked him if, you know, what possibilities there were for repairing the walls, and he said that, because it was public access, that we could spend money to do that.
You got a price, didn't you?
I did get a price.
What was it? About?
It was around $20,000
For how much?
from the beach down to Point Park.
Fix that wall, fix that wall.
Maybe you have to refresh that flow and set it over.
Yeah, that's,
Well,
I mean, that'd be something, I mean, it's.
So let me tell you, so this was last summer, I was talking to, Chris Bosley, who does a lot of work in the village.
Yeah.
And Chris has actually done a lot of this type of work on break walls. And so I had him down there, and we walked it, and he made up a rough quote, which is almost a year old now.
I have his contact information, I can reach out to him, and have him go on.
I can see the quote that he sent me if you're interested, but I didn't.
I mean, I'll bring it.
But so I started that when I first talked to Joanne about it. She says, well, we need to think about it. And so she says, well, how much would it cost? Is it 100,000? Is it, you know?
That's what I was thinking.
So that's why I reached out to Chris Wozniak and said, hey, Chris, so we're talking about this, but we just need an idea of how much this is gonna cost. Because if it's too much, it's not doable, right? And so he came down and measured it all out and sent me a quote, and I thought, well, heck, you know, it doesn't have to be the top one on the list, but it could fit on there somewhere. 20,000, that's probably doable.
And Chris Wozniak has done a lot of very good work for this building.
He does, yeah, he's good. He knows something.
And the other thing I believe we did, I think I said to you that you probably should ask the park district, and I think you did, and they said you didn't care.
well,
I'm
and
sorry, they said what?
The park district, did you ask them about the wall?
I did.
And they more or less said they didn't care?
They don't care, they said they have from the wall out, you know, so the wall is our responsibility, or property owner's responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was one thing to say, let's write no fishing on all their walls, because they might not like that, but if you say you want to fix their wall, that could be a whole different story right there.
Yeah, I'm sure they would be open to it. I mean, it looks,
Well, yeah, why wouldn't they?
Yep.
It ups their value if they're.
Well, and then-
It's nice.
And then an idea that I had versus telling people they can't fish on the lakefront would be at Point Park to, with obviously the park district's permission, build a fishing platform, like a dock or a deck, you know, and we'd have a designated fishing area. And people already fish there anyway. But if we had this money and we could create a designated fishing dock or something along Point Park, that would be
Right at
good.
the end of the property.
Right.
This is terrible up there though.
But people go there and fish all the time. Heck, there's a guy that drives his tractor into the lake, wash his tractor and fish.
It'll be nice.
So, what do you guys, would you like John to get some people together and get some suggestions?
So yeah, I would like.
Or do you want to all think about it, or you want to?
Bring suggestions to me. You know, I don't think we should form, I mean, you could form your own unofficial committee, you know, with 15 people. I don't care about that, but I don't have anything,
Well, but just asking everybody, they know,
official.
you'll just get a lot of ideas.
Yeah, no, absolutely, that's what we want.
And then
First I heard of this.
You guys gotta figure out who you want to pick, what's this money spent on, with keeping in mind the voting community that's paying the money.
Well, I think.
First of all, and then and just see what everybody comes up with first, I think.
Yeah, but I like what you said, to start, because eventually you're gonna run out of lake-related, stuff.
Right.
So we'll start with the anything have to do with, like the wall, the ramp if we need the ramp to be repaired. I don't know, I've never, I don't know.
Pretty shallow now.
That's the problem,
Dig that up, it could be.
Doesn't something happen to that country?
well, erosion from the bigger problem.
It's not really a road, what's happened is that it's just filled in, it really just needs
It's
cleaning
almost,
up.
yeah, that big drain there and it brings everything from the village down.
Yeah, that's what I was told too, that was the bigger problem, dredge it out if need be, or whatever, when the water's low, it's bottom out, I guess.
Chris
So-
does that too.
What's that?
Chris
Chris
wants
does that too.
Does he do that? Okay.
He's got the machine for the excavator to do that.
Would we need to get permission from the park district to do that?
No,
The
that's
dredge, I
ours.
don't think so.
To dredge,
We
probably.
lease that right there, that's ours.
You're digging,
The water, the ramp, the beach,
Well, I think,
the water
we're-
at the beach, up to past the diving platform. And so that also includes the boat ramp.
but underneath, like in front of the boat ramp, that's where I was told the sand was from the beach going
Probably
into
is.
the water, was moving over there, and there's kind of a sand,
So that's kind of our sand anyway.
yes, our sand, so we could
Just
get it back.
right back over.
But I don't know, just, people that put boats in a lot. Ken Reina was talking to me about that for the last couple of years, I think.
Well, then we need to find out more about the boat ramp itself.
Yeah. But we can start with that wall, I'd love to get that information, yeah, that's.
I'll take care of it.
Okay,
Excuse me, there is one issue.
Yes, sir.
I was working with Bud on this towards the end of last year. That particular contractor you're referring to,
Yeah,
we cannot use him.
really?
I'll be happy to talk to you privately about that.
Oh, I got that, what you're saying, you mean for the park, or are you talking about?
He's talking about the wall.
Anything with the contractor, that contractor we cannot.
Okay, which one you're talking about, but I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, after.
Because you said you were gonna contact him and we can't use him.
Gotcha, okay, I know, all right, that's fine. Sounds like that's getting put on the back burner anyways, is, we're gonna.
well, keep in mind, because we're gonna collect more money this year, so then you're gonna have another 12,000, so you might as well start thinking about spending something.
Yeah.
Or get in trouble for that. You got anything else?
I got nothing else.
Okay, then we'll go to streets, Al.
The issues with the township and everything, it looks like everything's been handled pretty good as far as keeping our roads clear and stuff. I haven't heard of anybody complaining about it.
Have they hired people, do you know?
They've been using people from the fire department, is my understanding. So Ben, the only guy that's left, he's been doing it a lot.
What's the fireman?
With the
They haven't
fireman.
hired, as far as you know, anybody.
Yeah, I believe he starts the 14th or 15th.
Oh, that's right, okay.
That'll be the guy in charge. I don't know about the third person, if they replace him, what they're doing to replace him yet. I reached out to the different trustees and everything, and I will reach out to him whenever he's hired, once he's on site. We're waiting on news for the grant. I don't know if Gary's heard anything.
No, nothing.
Why is it taking so long? They usually tell us in December.
I don't know why it's taking longer this time, but we don't have a decision yet.
Do we have to assume that maybe they just didn't tell us and we need to call them? Because that has happened.
I'll be happy to give them a call.
Alan, we do have three very bad spots that the water department has come out and fixed leaks in the pipes underneath and did a terrible job of repairing the road surface. And, are they gonna fix that? Are we gonna fix that?
They will come out and fix it in the spring when the weather allows.
They will?
Yeah, when the asphalt plants are back up and running and stuff, then they'll come out and do the final repair.
It's a wonder that the snowplows haven't leveled it out.
Well, they're gonna be doing one on Chippewa Road by Northville next, been leaking for a week.
There's gonna be another one?
I was a little concerned today because when I went through the intersection at Lake and Chippewa, there were 7 county vehicles in the parking lot at the old bank, one at the corner diagonal from there. The guy was down in a hole up to his neck, and they had like temporary stoplights at the bank, and I thought, what are they setting up here? And then when I came back through later, they were all gone.
Gas companies mess around up that way too.
Yeah, well, these were Medina County sanitary engineer trucks, all white with black lettering, and I was like, something is about to happen here, but they were gone.
Survey crews have been up and down Lake Road
I-
for 2 weeks now too.
I saw that too, yeah. So,
Rumor floating around on Facebook that they're gonna replace the water line from the tower down.
oh,
But that's just,
right, I suppose we can find out. I can find out.
20% of the time.
Okay. Well, this will be Alan's time, Alan Michelson. He is, well, I told you, I asked him about the property reappraisals. He hasn't got anything done yet. So now we will go to finance, Gary.
Okay. First, did everybody sign in tonight? Anyone who came in who didn't sign in, please do. Thank you. This past Saturday, I distributed the December bank reconciliation report to council. All accounts are in balance. Any questions, comments from council? I have a motion approving the December bank reconciliation for signature.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. Saturday, I also distributed the end of December appropriations report for council review and sign off. Any questions, comments through December 31st appropriations? I have a motion authorizing council to sign off.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. Check those. I have a motion from council to allow the fiscal officer to receive training for the mayor and all of council on certified public records training. It's an annual requirement.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Is that where we gotta watch that video?
No, that's on fraud. You only have to do that once every 4 years. So we're in good shape. Over the weekend, I did close the year 2025. And tonight I want to distribute to you just a summary of 2025 finances. Feel free to take a sheet and pass it around to your place. I'm not going to review every detail of it, just the highlights of it.
Do you want one of these?
Thank you. For 2025, on receipts, we actually earned $63,497 more than budgeted. That was due to higher revenues on village income tax, village property taxes, interest on monies deposited, and gasoline tax. Spending, we were $111,240 under. That was due in large part to lower spending by parks and streets out of the general fund monies. Interest earned was $21,897 more than budgeted. That's because we are participating in the high yield banking institutions approved by the Ohio Treasurer of State. Debt obligations. July 1st, we incurred a debt of $155,620. That was for Brookshore Phase 9. By the end of the year, that was down to $150,433. And we did retire $5,187 of the debt. Final payoff year, 2055. For 2025 completed, and in my opinion, the village remains on sound financial footing. Detailed reports are available on my desk for review by council as well as any citizen. I will advise the Gazette to run a legal notice notifying the public that the 2025 financial reports are available. If I can have a motion from council authorizing me to post the ad.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you. If you have specific questions about year-end 2025, feel free to ask me at any time. But as of right now, everything's looking quite strong and solid.
Here, I don't know, how legal this document is or whatever, but it does say Village of Burbank.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Wait a minute, really?
It does, yeah.
Mine says Chippewa Lake.
No.
Ours say Burbank.
Oh, wow.
Everything else was exact except for that, right under final payoff of year 2055, it says
Towards the bottom.
Okay, well,
Village of Burbank, right
you
down.
can hand me
This
those
line
back.
here.
Yep. Oh, I see it there.
Yeah.
Okay. Village of Chippewa. Thank you.
All the numbers are, the Chippewa numbers, correct?
These are Chippewa numbers. Yes.
Burbank's gonna think they got.
Yeah, we'd love these numbers in Burbank. Believe me, we would.
Well, let's watch how it passes.
All right. And I got the notice to post the notice. Okay. We got that. The 2025 PEP grant was approved. I'm waiting on the deposit of the money so I can issue the check to the Village Pride Committee for the 6-foot parking stops. So I'm just waiting for that check to be deposited so I can make that payment.
Okay, great.
Any questions, comments about that? Okay. You already mentioned about Allen and those property taxes, so I won't go into that. To date, I have issued one solicitor permit, and it is posted on the village website. Stephen Nail is his name, and his permit expires February 27th of this year. We have received all payments and documentation for a second permit that we will be discussing in the executive session tonight. Tonight, council, we need to vote on ordinance 913-26. And that's an ordinance approving the 2026 agreement with the Medina County Sheriff Office, reflecting a 3% increase in the hourly rate. That'll bring their hourly rate to $35.05 per hour.
How much, I'm sorry, 30?
$35.05 will be the new hourly rate. I would like to proceed with the first reading of ordinance 913-26, if the mayor will okay it.
Sure.
First reading of ordinance 913-26 in title only. An ordinance approving an agreement for law enforcement services for the village with the Medina County Sheriff from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026, and declaring the same an emergency. May I have a motion to waive the second and third readings?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Need a motion to pass this ordinance as an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Jim,
Okay, thank you.
I don't have that. Because they meet once a month, not once every 2 days. Well, the state law says you have to have 3 readings of an ordinance to get it past council. They can do it 3 different times. That would take us 3 months, where City of Cleveland can do it in a week.
Plus, the contract started January 1st, in 3 months from next month. And you want the sheriff, don't you?
Nobody calls them anyway.
Why are we even getting them?
Apparently they're going over in their hours though.
No,
Did it say 85?
Contract with the
No, it was 80.
because
Oh.
they're the ones getting calls.
no, they hit their target hours.
Thank you.
They were a little low a couple other months though. And we evened out in the end.
Oh, I read it wrong. Hours logged 85. Oh, that was January.
Okay, is there any old business?
Oh, no, I'm still not.
Oh,
done.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Just had to get these formalities handled.
Joanne's trying to skip ahead.
Okay, the village's letter of support to the Ohio House of Representatives for the state capital request for the Chippewa Lake Amusement Park area, as approved by council at last month's meeting, was sent to the Director Epinick on December the 8th. So we did get that submitted on time. As of the end of December, the balance in the primary checking account was $380,443.20. Money market, $208,783.02. Star Ohio, $116,594.44. Total, $705,820.66. Keep in mind the fact that when you hear all these monies, realize that 40% of these funds are restricted and can only be spent on streets. They're not available for any other use. So keep that in mind, please. Sometimes you hear that big number and you say, oh boy, we got all of it available for
No,
any
the street
use.
guy looks like this.
It does not.
He looks really happy over there.
It's all for you.
The other thing is, when you get your January appropriations report, in other words, the monthly report that I give to you every Saturday before the council meeting, because I'm hearing a lot of discussion tonight about, oh boy, we're going to spend, we want to buy this, we want to do that. Look at your appropriations report because it gives you your budget for the year. If you want to make adjustments, you need to let me know between now and March 1st. And also in the appropriations report that you get it every month. And I'll be happy to meet with council once again because we met on this, but it was years ago, how to interpret these reports. They are a bit complicated, but the information I give council every month tells them exactly how much they've spent and exactly how much they have left. You've got to look at those numbers before you say, yep, we're going to go out and buy this, that, and everything else. If the numbers don't match to what you want to spend, then we've got to talk about it and make sure we can appropriate the appropriate monies. So those monthly appropriation reports that you get, you have to read, you have to understand. If you don't understand, call me up. I'll sit down with you individually or as a group. But that's the budget for the year. And again, remember, 40% of the monies we've got are restricted and can only be used by streets. Okay. The only other thing I had to announce, Mayor, is going into executive session. Unless there's a question.
One thing about the solicitors, can we include in our rules and whatever that we have for them, that when they're here soliciting, that they park at the village parking lot instead of along the streets in the village? Because they're parking, 3 times last week I saw the guy, 2 2 tires in somebody's front yard and 2 tires on the road.
And most of our streets are no
They have to
parking.
Park at the village hall when they come in to solicit, not just on me, but anybody. Can we include that in the language?
Call the police.
I think that's good.
Really, think so. Call the police and.
I said something
Solicit.
I said something to the solicitor. I asked him politely to park at the village hall, but I don't know if he was back in the village anymore after that or not. I only saw him 3 days last week. But I don't know if we can include that in the language, just for future.
Well, the streets are no parking, most of them.
Most of them are.
Yeah.
So what would be the problem?
I know even like over here, right on, Briarwood Boulevard, right at the corner of Berkshire, I think. There's a pickup truck parked the wrong way on the side of the road all the time.
That's Rock Ridge, and I was gonna point that out to Jim.
The Rock Ridge.
He's parking in his front yard. It's the house on the southeast corner of Rock Ridge and Briarwood. The new yellow one, Mike's old place.
Yep, I just talked to them tonight. They corrected that already.
They've got 2 snowplows, trucks, and a pickup truck, and one of them's always in the front yard.
Yep. I corrected that tonight. If
Okay, is
it's
anybody-
not correct, call me because she called them tonight.
Does anybody have any old business? If not, we'll go to the audience. Mark,
Another thing.
Bill, Deb. Deb.
Which one?
Scalero, Deb, do you
Thanks.
have any?
New business? Well, I guess I might not be anything you guys want to talk about tonight or anything, but I do want to talk to Deb, about doing a program for the kids in the spring, with Pride and the Garden Club and community events. So I can talk to her privately,
Okay,
but other than that, no.
John,
Nothing else.
Lisa, Debbie.
Happy New
We got a
Year.
lot of Debbie's here all of a sudden.
Happy New Year. You all do a great job, and I hope you have a wonderful 2026.
Thank you, you too.
Thanks, Joe.
Actually, I do.
Okay,
So regarding the taxes, I know Alan isn't here tonight, but I did call Michelle, the Medina County auditor, and they increased our taxes on the lakefront property over 700%.
oh my God.
Sounds like a lot, but in financial methods, it's not terrible. But the point being is that
Joanne.
they said that it was an error. They hired a third party and they inadvertently raised it. So you have to go and file with Board of Revisions in Q1 of this year. She suggested that I let the property owners know, and if they go ahead and go to the Board of Revisions, she agreed with me that it will be evaluated and property taxes will come down. No, this is, I have more feedback in regards to that lake lot, because it's very unique about the break wall and everything else. One, we own the property, but it is community space, it is not private property. So that's why the few lake lots by the lake, that is the one that we're gonna reduce the prices on, just for clarity.
And does this does not include the ones from the, bridge down to like Alan Robbins'
No.
house, right?
No, it is the
Those are
ones that
totally
are,
different, those are not public, Lisa owns a lot like that, they're not public use like the other ones. So did your taxes go up?
I was just gonna say, I was gonna go home and ask Mark.
I don't know if we got the tax bills yet, but okay, go ahead, sorry.
so the point being though, as I was explaining, I was contesting it because it's not private property, it's community space, as we well know. Yeah, we have to maintain it. So once I explained the situation, they agreed, and I asked to go to the Board of Revision. So just as a public service announcement, if you want to share it with others, I already mentioned, you can call a few people, but I think it's worth a while to do so. The primary question I have about that parcel, and I brought this up 6 years ago when I came in, and Alan mentioned in regards to the liability, because it is community space, it is not private property. If somebody were to injure themselves on that space, walking to their boat ramp or their dock, or walking across with their dog, who would be liable? And I was told that it was not myself, and that the village would take care of it. I need to get something in writing for confirmation, because I've been paying extra liability insurance, and I need to get clarification, is that accurate?
Is that accurate? I never heard that before.
No.
So this is where I have contention. I'm frustrated because it's not private property, it's community space, but yet I'm liable if I put a private property, people can't trespass on it. If they get hurt, that's their own fault, they're trespassing. So right now, if somebody breaks their leg or their ankle, twists their ankle, I'm liable. So that's where I want to get clarification, because I'm concerned about that liability and the cost of it is.
And it's also Ed's property where the dock attaches to the break wall and it's pulling away from the.
There are 2 of the 3 docks that are attached to the break wall. One of the docks in the last couple of years actually drilled a hole and put an anchor bolt into the break wall to attach to the dock. It would have been nice if they just would have asked, I would have said sure. But again, and to get clarification, when I did inquire a few years ago about who owns the break wall, who's responsible for maintenance, it went back and forth between the village, between the park, and basically Nate came back and said, no, it's the property owner. So I don't know if that was his opinion or if that's.
I think I've always heard it was the property owner also.
Yes.
But you might want to call Alan Michelson about that insurance part of it, because I have no idea. It doesn't sound fair.
So that's where I'm confused. I mean, we do have a lot of lakefront property.
Yeah, we do.
I'm glad that nothing has happened, but for me to incur the cost of maintaining the break wall, I'll be honest with you, I would consider selling that lot because it's no benefit. I could sell it and I could still use it, but yet I gotta pay property taxes, maintain the break wall, maintain the liability insurance, pay the taxes. Anybody wanna buy it?
Maybe the guy who has the dock out there.
Well, did you know that we buy it, right?
Pardon?
Did you know that we buy it?
I do not know all these details, to be quite blunt and honest. No, I did not, because things down here, as you know, are very unique. So, no, I did not know all that when I purchased it.
Is that property deeded to the property that has the residence?
They're 2 separate parcels.
They're on the other side of the road, Kim.
They are.
Is the,
Are there 2 separate deeds is what Jim is asking, because the
Yes, there's 2
lakefront
separate
deed
deeds.
would read differently than the property the house is on.
So, I don't know, can anybody explain to me what the benefit of that property is?
You get to pay the taxes and cut the grass. I thought you knew that.
Maybe the
Would the
city,
village like to take
maybe
that?
the village might want to buy it.
Well, we might be using it.
You get free fertilizer from the geese.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true, the fish may wash up.
an exercise?
And if Harvey Bridge and Lake driving through there, I won't squeeze them.
And while you're watching, see if anybody gets hurt, you got a beautiful view that the rest of us don't. So you got that.
Controls the trees that are planted here.
Can leave a message for Al to check into that, or what you recommend for next steps?
Well, obviously, he seems like he's gonna get some surgery possibly tomorrow.
Oh, I realize that.
So I would say probably if you want to call him, or if you want to,
We can bring it up at the next meeting or whatnot.
or if you want to give me a call in a week or so, I'll call him, see what he's up to and see if he can explain, because I honestly don't know.
Maybe just send him an email and he can get.
I'll send him an email or contact.
Just a point of procedure. Don't forget, Alan represents the village, he represents the council. He wouldn't be allowed to give you any kind of legal advice. The legal advice, his opinion, would have to do with how the village is involved on that issue.
But he's an expert on those lots that we are not.
Right, but I just want to make sure that everybody's clear on that whatever Alan would have to say as the law director would relate to the interest of the village as opposed to the private property.
But then you bring a very good point, and that is exactly what I want his opinion on, because it is community space and for village residents. So to your point, if people from outside the village cannot use that property, right? Only village residents. So to your point, representing the village, because it is community space, I need to know, is the village then going to support any liability claims against that property?
Can that property be rezoned?
No.
Is it something that can?
No, it's a deed restriction. It's in the deed. It's not a zoning thing. It's in the deed.
You could potentially do an amendment to the deed.
You could go to Columbus and you could petition to have your deed changed. Yes.
So I guess the question would be then, would the council support that be changed? I guess that's where this is all kind of.
Well, it's your property. If you want to do that, it's got nothing to do with us. And if you do it, then I guess we'd have to honor it. I'm guessing that.
But when I checked into it, you'd have to contact the neighbors, kind of like when you build something, right, Jim? You have to get the variance, you gotta get permission from everybody involved, and you have to get their agreement and approval. So that's where I'm kind of bringing it up now.
That would be interesting, since you're all in the same situation.
So is it time for you guys to band together?
So that, yes.
Get that link,
Potentially, yeah.
link set up the same way as the other side of the bridge?
That would start some kind of revolution around here.
Not saying they can't do it.
That's why I don't wanna go down that, I wanna understand what's the liability. If it's, because on the other side of the bridge, it's private property, it's their liability.
I'm sure when those properties were deeded 100 years ago, people didn't sue each other for every little thing either. So
Right.
that, it's probably a good question in this day and age.
Can you put a sign up?
I cannot put a sign up that it's private property, I cannot put.
No, like just at your own risk.
But I see where his concern is, because I've seen people just parking on the side streets and grabbing their paddle boards. And
Yeah.
what if somebody slips going over the wall or something? They're not from here, they're just putting it in.
And the park district requires $1 million liability insurance for every dog. Unless it's gone up, but minimum it's $1 million. But yet, I have to pay and incur that cost for my property.
Just, call me in a week or two and I'll call Alan and get him on that and get him back with you and you can figure out what his opinion is of this and what possibly could be done to protect not only you, but the village.
There's, somebody could have a claim against the village and say, oh, it's the village's community space, potentially.
Or is it? Our name's not on the deed, right? Just
It
yours.
says for the benefit of village residents.
Oh, then, see, that's where we need,
Yeah,
It doesn't.
we need to find out. Thanks for bringing this up because it's pretty important, actually.
Thank you.
Okay,
We're just happy to see you.
yeah.
It's been a while, sorry, I've been busy.
Okay, is there any new business?
I have, two things. One thing, maybe two. As I was trying to figure out who did their off-road driving, I did have two residents, yell at me that we are not doing anything about the people that drive the wrong way around Bungalow Bay.
Well, that's an age-old.
It is an age-old thing, and the one resident said that he was driving in and he was going the correct way, and the resident that lives on the circle was going the wrong way and expected him to back up and go around so she could get out.
So that sounds like get a license plate number, call police.
Called.
yes.
Do not tell a councilman a month late.
I will go tell him that.
330-725-6631.
I have it in my contacts. And I do want to say that the lights in the parks and the village and the beach and everything really did look very nice and.
They did.
It was very nice. It was especially the musicians, the dogs really liked their pictures with Santa. But next year when we clean it up, I just need to ask that we cut the zip ties off the fence, that you throw them away instead of throwing them on the ground.
Yeah, I thought we did.
I picked up a handful, literally a handful,
Where at?
all along the fence.
So we knew that was gonna happen because there was this much snow, and to go searching for little chunks of zip tie in that snow
Oh, it was
was
a whole, it
impossible.
was a whole zip tie. It was-
Well, maybe there more than two
Well-
fell off.
Well,
No, our intent was to get down there once it thawed off and get it cleaned up.
I already did.
And I apologize.
Okay, I didn't realize that they took them down in the snow. I didn't realize it, but when I walked by with the dogs, I
No,
saw.
because we picked up everything, we tried to grab them as we cut them,
Okay,
but it was impossible.
No good deed.
well, I just, but the other point of that is that when I am out walking, especially on Tuesdays, on trash day, I can fill an entire garbage or grocery bag up with garbage, and that's only just going up and down a couple of streets. So when I walk in the dogs, I have my grocery bag, but I think just we as a village just need to be a little bit more clean. I mean, there's a lot of litter.
Always garbage at the playgrounds and stuff. all the time.
No, along the streets.
Along the street?
Yeah, I am picking up, like Speedway cups and I think I picked up like 15 feet of paper. It was like some of these Amazon packing paper blown all over the place.
It's also been very windy, very
No, I'm just,
windy.
this is every Tuesday when I walk the dogs. Every
After the
Tuesday.
pickup,
Well, I mean, during the week, but Tuesdays are the worst.
because
On trash
stuff always
day,
blows out when
Right.
they throw all the trash in the back of the trucks, and so there's always stuff.
There is, but we just need to, stuff blowing out at golf carts and stuff, but.
Okay, is there any other new business?
Yeah, I forgot something. If you leave for any length of time, you should call the police and tell them that you're gone, and they will come out here and they will watch your house for you virtually daily.
Yes, vacation watch. It's a good idea. It's a good
They
suggestion.
will do that as long as we all remember to call them.
725-6631.
I think that might be the number.
Okay, so any other new business?
Just to point out, Tamara, that you can, as your new position now, request more patrols for the circle to have them watch for people traveling the wrong way.
I can talk to Deputy Jorge about
You know,
that.
honestly, I don't know what else we could do because I designed a map. It's on it's on our website now, the map that I designed. Oh, actually, I can tell you something else we can do. Whoever's on streets or signs or parks or whichever. There used to be a one-way sign on the circle. And I complained about it because it was over here. As you're going into the circle, it was on the right. And I thought it should go over here. So instead of them moving it from here to here, they took it down and they put a do not enter sign over here. So when you come down into the circle, there is no sign that says one way.
There it is. It's on Frechette's pole.
It is there still?
Yes.
Okay, because that's where it was.
Yes.
I don't think that's a good spot for it.
It isn't, it needs to be big.
It needs to be
It's pretty good.
Is it?
It's probably this tall, this round.
interesting. I'm gonna have to go see it again.
Is it on the right or the left?
It's on
On the
the,
right.
it was on the
It should be on
right.
the left in that little triangle there.
There was a discussion, Keith Riedel, about
I hate
that.
to question you, but are you sure? I know you live there. I know you live there.
I watch these same people go around the circle the wrong direction. I know they can read. It's
Because-
just their choice. This is,
Well, that's what I was gonna suggest. You can put all the signs that you want, but those are residents that.
right. They know. they're
Oh, those are
going.
residents. So I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about like Amazon or
Mostly
something
is
like that.
residents, and you can see
Right.
where it'd be tempting if you don't live very far in, to just zip up, try not to get caught.
Right, but those aren't the people that are doing the shortcuts.
It's like the people that live on Railroad Boulevard, a lot of them will go the wrong way because it's two houses to get in and out.
And at some point, I've thought about this a lot, and I don't want to dwell on it. I'm just thinking, if we know these people, is there something that this committee, this group can send to them?
I know somebody who was on this committee that was also doing it. So,
Okay.
but yeah, we could say
I mean-
something.
All it takes is a couple of traffic tickets.
Yeah, but you're not gonna catch them. The police can't be there,
But
You know what? I give courtesy calls to people all the time. If you want to tell me who it is, I'll call and tell them we're getting complaints.
Okay.
I just like the guy with the dog that was running all over Lelor. I got an earful from a neighbor the other day. So I just called him. I know him. Called him.
Okay.
He said, okay. And I made a note of it in the meeting. So we'll give the property address and say I spoke to the homeowner and let them know. I'm sure I probably know who it is. So, yep.
Okay, is there any other new business?
If you guys wanna sit in my car during executive session, you can.
Well, my question is, when you come out of this, is there gonna be something to vote on?
We don't know. That it's possible.
Can you lend a little bit of a hint to see if it's worth my time sticking around?
I can text you when we're done, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, let me ask this, would that vote actually affect me?
Just the part about we're gonna call the police on you for, yes, that part.
Do we have to go through the spiel that Leslie went through to go into?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we need the executive session.
So if you guys can wait outside, we'll get it done.
Yeah, but what I wanna do.
Wait your car, we'll call you.
Give me a minute to use the bathroom before you do it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, wait a minute, hold on.
No, hide out in the bathroom,
No.
trying to hear what we're doing.
She's gotta ask me. She's gotta state.
I know, I'm on her. I'm already about to tell her.
I got a question.
The whole spiel you went through,
Okay,
we
so
have to go through again.
the council is now going into executive session.
And I haven't had dinner yet, so
For the
you gotta
purpose
come
of
back.
Discussing a personnel matter and solicitor permit licensee matter is permitted under Ohio Revised Code 121.22. No formal action will be taken during executive session. Following executive session, council will return to open session and resume the meeting.
We need a motion to go into executive session.
Isn't it a roll call motion?
Yeah, that's next.
Second,
All in favor?
Roll call vote is typically what we do have to do.
okay,
Okay, Tamitha,
yes.
Leslie,
Yes.
Barb,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Al,
Yes.
Deb.
Yes.
Thank you. That's at 9:06.
And no longer be alive.
Okay.